Welcome back everyone. Following yet another disappointing defeat, the Lakers have decided to make a change, though it's not the one that many were expecting. No, they did not in fact fire Darvin Ham, and the change I'm referring to involves a new addition to their team, along with a subtraction as well. And we're going to talk about who they picked up, what he can offer their team, and then finish up by talking about what we've gotten from their team during the past few days now. Before we get too far into it though, be sure to check out g2a.com for the best deals in your favorite games, credits, and everything digital entertainment. Check them out in the video description down below. But now getting back to the video, and like I referred to before, they made a brand new addition to their team via a two-way contract, with that player being Dylan Windler, though they did waive Alex Fudge in order to make room for him. And if you don't know about two-way contracts, a team is only allowed to have 3 of them at any one time, which is actually one more than they were allowed to have last season. But with them already having had 3 of them, they had to waive one of them to sign Dylan Windler, and again, that one happened to be Alex Fudge, a young athletic wing player that many thought resembled a more athletic Jared Vanderbilt. However, if they were looking for a player that could potentially help them right now, then Alex Fudge would not be that guy. We're talking about a rookie here, and a very raw one at that, who virtually has zero to offer on the offensive end of the court at this stage in his development. And while I'm not sure they plan to have Dylan Windler fill a legitimate role for their team, he would definitely be a better option than Alex Fudge would. And with that in mind, what could he offer their team? For a brief introduction on him, Dylan Windler is a former first-round draft pick from the 2019 NBA draft, being the 26th overall draft pick by the Cleveland Cavaliers, who he played for leading up to this season. Though he definitely is older than your typical 4th-year player, Windler turned 27 years old back in September, and for comparison, he's 4 years older than Zion Williamson, the first overall draft pick from his draft class. And up until this point, he has spent a large majority of his time in the G League, only having appeared in 87 total NBA games so far, about half of which were him getting garbage time minutes, though you definitely can make an argument for him belonging in the NBA. He's 6'7", known for his 3-point shooting ability, is not a bad defender, and then is actually a really good rebounder. In fact, he's coming off a 23-point, 33 rebound game last night, claiming the single game G League rebounding record while doing it. And again, we are not talking about a 7-foot center here, we are talking about a 195-pound wing player, and despite him having pretty good height and length, that rebounding ability comes down to him simply wanting it more than his opponent. I mean, he's not even that great of an athlete, he likely won't out-jump you, but he will out-hustle you, and that's what you want to see from a G League player. His career point per game average of 13.3 won't really jump out at you, or even if you want to compare it to this season where he's averaging about 15 points per game, it's really not that noteworthy, and especially when you compare it to other players putting up nearly double that amount. But again, that's really not a priority for a G League player. Don't get me wrong, it's certainly a good trait to have, but the thing that has gotten guys like former Laker Alex Caruso to the NBA would have to be defense, effort, and energy, not the ability to put up points. And I always tend to go back to the quote from Caruso, being that a big reason why guys get stuck in the G League is that they don't realize the position they're trying out for. Rather than putting up points, I think a lot of them would benefit by playing better defense, learning to play off the ball, or becoming a better rebounder like Dylan Windler, who again, set the single game G League record for rebounds. And we are not only talking about a good energy guy here either. The thing that got Windler drafted happened to be his 3-point shooting ability. The guy shot nearly 43% from 3 while attempting over 7 of them per game during his senior year in college. And while he's not been quite that deadly from the 3-point line throughout his professional career, he's still shooting about 38% from 3 on over 5 attempts per game, something a team like the Lakers could definitely use more of. I've talked about it plenty of times before, but one of their biggest problems happens to be their 3-point shooting ability, and especially when it comes to catch and shoot ability. Again, not saying a G League guy like Windler could step in and fix that problem for them, but he at least would fit the mold of what they should be looking for. A good 3-point shooter, a guy that brings great energy, and then a great rebounder too, which is another issue they've had. Other than Anthony Davis, they have had a really hard time getting guys to rebound. They often leak out before they even grab the rebound, or simply stand around and watch Anthony Davis single-handedly try to grab it. And I don't know about you guys, but I really hate watching them give up offensive rebounds. Now, they definitely have gotten better throughout the season, but they are by no means where they want to be quite yet. Getting back to Windler though, I like what they did here with him. Again, I'm not sure that he'll even play for them, but I would not be entirely against it either, and especially if they cannot get better production from a few of their role players. I think at the very least he would provide some 3-point shooting gravity for them, which they obviously need more of, and then be a pretty safe bet to help with their rebounding as well. He might be kind of limited in other areas, but those two things alone could potentially help their team. What do you guys think though? Do you believe they should give Dylan Windler a shot, or do you think they simply picked him up for emergency depth? Let me know your thoughts about it. But now finishing up with what we've seen from their team lately, and rather than immediately talk about the losing streak, we'll begin by going over a few injury updates. According to Darvin Ham, D'Angelo Russell and Rui Hachimura are currently being listed as day-to-day with their injuries, and we are seeing how badly they're being missed right now in my opinion.
Darvin, just kind of confirming injury-wise, but it looked at D'Angelo doubtful. It's looking like he's not going to be able to go along with Rui tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still working through the issues with his tailbone.
Gotcha. And then are you any clue yet about the next game, if they'll be available, or are you going to wait until...
No, it's a day-to-day thing.
Okay.
Between their lack of 3-point shooting, along with their lack of offensive creativity in general, they could really use D'Lo and Hachimura, with that being the version of them that we know they can be. After all, they are 2 of only 4 players in their team that are shooting above 35% from 3, and then 2 of only 3 that are averaging over 10 points per game while doing it, with the only other one being LeBron James. I know they've been a bit up and down, but the Lakers really need them back right now, and hopefully they'll be as soon as their game on Sunday night against the LA Clippers, yet another difficult matchup for them. And I think we can all agree they need a bit more urgency, with it finally showing during the first quarter of their game against Memphis, but then eventually crumbling during the fourth quarter. And while they have plenty of time left to get back on track, many did not like what Darvin Ham had to say about it, and I'll let you hear what he had to say.
It is what it is. It's the NBA, man. This is a marathon. And, you know, you have to look at the totality of the picture. I'm tired of people living and dying with every single game we play. It's ludicrous, actually. It's like, come on, man, this is a marathon, and we hit a tough stretch. You know, it's the same team that, you know, we played some high-level games a little while ago, and we just got to get back to that. We got to keep the fight, though. We cannot lose our fight.
Thanks, Coach.
At this point, you can really tell the pressure is getting to him, and I can't say I really blame him either. Darvin Ham is the coach of a LeBron-led Lakers team that is coming off a trip to the Western Conference Finals, and with that in mind, you cannot be saying what he said following their game last night, or at least if you don't want to lose support of the entire fan base, which has pretty much already given up on him. Don't get me wrong, they have plenty of problems other than Darvin Ham, but he's definitely been one of their bigger ones lately, and especially during their current losing streak. I don't know if he'll be fired or not, but we pretty much already know who would be replacing him, with that being current assistant and top assistant at that Phil Handy. I talked about this during a video I put out yesterday, but it's now been further supported by Sam Amico of The Athletic, and it's really not that shocking either. I mean, very rarely will a team hire a completely new head coach during the middle of the season. More often than not, they will temporarily let a current assistant fill that role. And with that in mind, you can decide for yourself if Phil Handy would be an upgrade over Darvin Ham or not, and do keep in mind that he's been one of the people that's currently helping Darvin Ham formulate his game plans. With all of that being said though, what do you guys think? What do you think the Lakers need to do to get back on track? And then how do you feel about the addition of Dylan Windler? Comment your thoughts down below. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.